$1.50, chips and salsa for $2, Jolly Rancher Martini, which sounds interesting, for $4, and a 16-ounce Flame-O-Mouth, $2. Yeah, this is kind of what I said. We got a couple comedians showing up here in a little bit. The weather probably is the reason why we're going a little slow here. But, you know, back in with the comedy, and a lot of the comedians can agree with me, is we come up here and we do our stuff, we try to make you laugh, and then we leave. What I believe is that we should get to know each other a little more. So you're going to learn about the comedians. Hopefully they get a little personal. Tonight, I'm going to get a little personal with you right off the first bat. A little bit about me. I am originally from Petoskey. I moved to Traverse City 4 or 5 years ago. I have 2 little girls, 11-year-old and a 5-year-old. 6-year-old is next Friday, which I'm not too crazy about. I have been doing comedy for about a year or so. Also, a couple fun facts about me. When I was younger, I was a Gerber baby on TV, which was kind of cool. Dan Marley, anybody know who Dan Marley is? Nobody knows who Dan Marley is? Basketball player, thank you, sir. A Phoenix Sun basketball player. He's actually my uncle. Also, every Saturday night I organize a D&D party in my basement. Awkward silence. Nah, I'm just kidding. Fuck that shit. I just lie a lot. All seriousness, I enjoy lying, and it's not like the big lies. It's like the little lies. It's like your wife tells you to take the garbage out. And you're like, sure, I'll take the garbage out. She leaves for work. You pick up your daughter from school at 4. She takes the garbage out. Wife comes home. You take the garbage out. Yeah, it's out. Actually, I have my daughter do it. Another one is I have to call, let's say, the Consumer's Energy. I don't fucking call them. I hate talking to people, so I email them instead. All those sorts of things is what I do. But my biggest thing is I envy the people that can go to department stores and return things and just return it with a good excuse and not a lie. I'm at Walmart, this guy pulls up a bike, the big old fat tires, which apparently is in right now. Everybody seen those weird bikes, right? Show of hands, who actually rides bikes in this weather? In this weather, right? I think that's called snowmobile, right? That's the only kind of ride that's going on outside right now. So anyway, he pulls up and the lady says, "Hey, what's wrong? Anything wrong with it?" He's like, "No, I just want to return it." She's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing." She asked me, "Hey, would you like to return your item?" And I was like, "Yeah." She says, "Anything wrong with it?" I'm like, "Well, every time I have a story, something drastic happened. It's not me just talking, it's just something big is going to happen." So I had this item, I'm going to return it, and she says, "Would you like to return it?" And I said, "Yeah." "What's wrong with it?" I'm like, "Well, see, what I was thinking is I was going to use it. I was going to use the item, and I was afraid that I was going to use it in the kitchen, it was going to fall down on the floor, and my wife would walk by, and she would trip and fall. As she goes to fall, she tries to catch herself, and she hits a chef's knife. It comes up and cuts half her ear off. And as it comes half her ear off, she's bleeding, we fix it, but I can't be with a girl with 1.5 ears. That's just not the case. So I go, and what are we going to do? We're going to go to the restaurant. They're going to sit us where the ugly people sit. We're going to go sit over the section by the plants, and we have to hide the ear by the plants. So that's just not going to work. So that's why I'm returning the sponge. But anyway, you're going to hear a few jokes from me throughout the night. I promise it'll be a little bit better than that one. I appreciate you all listening. Our next comic, which actually is our first comic, he's from Onaway. His name is Dick Normous.
Thank you, Chris. My name is Dick Normous. This is a new persona I've taken on. It's not because, I'm not enormous, so I have to go with the Normous. I'm kind of short, kind of thick. Nothing too overbearing. I have to tell you, at some point tonight, you might look like I have my zipper down. No, I broke the motherfucker getting out of my car after we ate at Applebee's. It's not that I'm fat, I'm just kind of husky. The Dick Normous thing's kind of fucking great because I love telling people certain shit like that. Like, I tell them I'm a reverend and it surprises the shit out of them. Especially when you're the drunkest guy at the wedding. A lot of ladies, well, not a lot, I mean, I don't get pussy a lot. But I got a Mexican girl, she's 6 foot. We'll get into that later. Anyways, I like to tell ladies, my name's Dick Normous. Nice to meet you, especially after the shows. And they're usually fucking hammered, so they're like, ha ha ha, Dick Enormous. No, it starts way back when I was a kid. I got the name Dick from my uncle. My dad was crying. This is about me being born. It's fucking insane. My dad was crying. Everybody thought I died when I was born. Brings everybody back and he's crying. He points to me and they're like, what are you looking at? He's like, he has the biggest balls I've ever seen on a baby. I'm so proud. Hard to beat that when you're growing up. A little bit more is I'm a huge football fan. I love I watched Super Bowl. Everybody did. I was rooting for the Patriots because everybody else was rooting for Seattle. The catch that the Patriots did against Seattle was fucking epic because as soon as they caught it, they switched the camera to Richard Sherman's face and it was just a look of defeat. As soon as they shot that, it just showed the last time that he made that look is when he found out his dad was white. A little bit about my background is I didn't really know growing up. A lot of the kids I went to school with knew if they were Greek and German and Polish. I didn't know, so one day I asked my dad. He told me, I don't know. I think we're Dutch or Black Dutch or Syrian. So, as you can imagine, I was confused being a chubby white kid living in Detroit. I didn't know if I should dress like Kanye or start praising Allah. Like Chris said, I'm from Onaway. If some of you know where Onaway is, some of you don't. It's kind of like Gaylord took a big shit and threw it north of here. And it just landed and like, oh, we're going to civilize here. My favorite thing to do in Onaway is to people watch, especially the trailer park because there's a lot of fucking action there. My favorite is the other day I was sitting there watching. Keep in mind it's February and fucking freezing balls out. I seen this lady walking across the parking lot at the trailer park and cut off pajama pants, about thigh high, a wife beater, and with a yellow stain from the neck to the bottom. I'd like to say all the way to the crack, but sure didn't go that far down. This bitch had bigger tits on her back than she did on the front. A couple weeks later, me and my buddies are on Craigslist. See an ad. Bring it up, it's that bitch in the same outfit just saying, ooh, looking for cock. I feel sorry for the poor bastard that dipped his dick in that. Not too long ago, I had Bell's palsy. Some of you may know what that is. Some of you don't know what that is. It's kind of like where half your face becomes paralyzed and sags. I kind of look like Sloth from the Goonies. A better perspective is I woke up that morning and I looked perfectly fine. By dinner time, I look like Stephen Hawking.
That's awful.
It could be worse. Teen pregnancy in Onaway is a little out of hand. The other day I was taking my nephew up. I love my nephews, they're little assholes. I was taking my nephew to wrestling practice. Next thing I know, I look out front and the bike racks are gone and they got parking spots painted for strollers. Going to the bathroom, instead of having inspirational posters saying, study hard, you'll go far. Or sporting posters like, you get what you put in. They have baby buy sell trade right above the urinal. As I'm standing there taking a piss, I read, 6th grader, selling used breast pump, $10. That's fucked up. Also growing up in a small town, for the longest time, girls like their guys a little bit older. It was hard to get girls when you're younger around there. They like their guys a little bit older, clean shaven, classy. And then all of a sudden they started liking them, grizzly, working on the farm, wearing the fucking muck boots, listening to country music, fucking their cousins. Thanks, Duck Dynasty. So, there's this motorcycle club I noticed up here. It's called the Penetrators. Anybody heard of them? Obviously not. They're not that popular. I'm out to dinner with my buddy, and we see this guy pull up on a motorcycle. It's McDonald's because we're classy. Pulls up and he walks in. Typical biker guy, like the dude in the back with the white bandana. And on the back of his jacket it says the Penetrators. They're symbols of forearm and a fist. We're sitting there thinking, we're watching this guy, people watching because there's nothing else to do here. Goes outside, gets on his pink Harley. And then it dawns on me, he's part of the Penetrators because anybody that rides a Harley loves to be penetrated. So I got a Mexican girlfriend. And this is hard to find up here because everybody's fucking white. She's about 6'5". It's kind of like sleeping next to Shaq. I thought it was going to be great. Take this Mexican girl out, we'll get fucking dinner, authentic Mexican restaurant. She orders the whitest thing on the menu, chicken tenders and french fries. It was a total bomb. Turns out her favorite color is camo. That was a real good discussion because I said, what part of camo? She said, no, camo. I said, there's 3 colors. Pick one, bitch. I'm kind of rude. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my name's Dick. It might not be. So, her favorite sport's basketball. I'm a football fan. We decided to play a game of one-on-one after watching the NBA Finals last year. So, I get to the court. I'm getting warmed up, just shooting around. Next thing I know, I see fog and fucking lasers. And then I hear music playing. I see her come out dressed like the 97 Dream Team. Next thing I know, I go up for a layup, and she packs me. Gives me the Matumbo. Not my house. So next thing I do, I yell at her. We're playing fucking horse. Man, if she was here, you guys would be shitting your pants. Because she's literally like 7 foot. I look like a fucking midget next to her with a hunchback. I'm going to end on, probably my most favorite thing is I've really slowed down on drinking. Yeah, I got a glass of whiskey right here. But I've really cut back. I used to drink about a 5th a night. And I got a new job, so I had to quit. And I will say that the thing I miss most about drinking is drunk driving. And it's not because I'm irresponsible. It's mostly because I felt like I was playing Grand Theft Auto in real life when I was drunk driving around. And that'll be me. I'm Dick Normous from Onaway, Michigan. Thank you, everybody.